In this video, I am going to demonstrate the compiler design project, which was a part of our 6th semester. This project was to build a simple C++ compiler which handles constructs like if, else, and for and while loops. So this project has several phases. We'll start off with the first phase, which is the symbol table generation or syntax analysis phase, which also handles error, in which we have also handled error detection as well as expression evaluation. So this is the code. This is the code for symbol table, and we have encapsulated the symbol table in a struct which has values like a line which denotes the line number of the keyword or the identifier. Name is the name of the keyword or the identifier. Type is to tell whether it is a keyword, identifier, or a string. Value is the value of that particular variable. Data type is the int, char, float. There are many functions, like we have a lookup function which looks for the token in the symbol table. If it is present, then it simply updates the line number, and if it is not, then it inserts it into the symbol table. Then there is a search ID function which searches the token in the symbol table. If the token is found, it returns, else it prints error at line number variable is not defined. In this, we have also handled the redeclaration of variable. If c equal to 1, this means that the variable is already defined, is already declared. So if we are redeclaring it, it will generate an error. The update function simply updates the value of a variable which had initially some another value. Suppose a equal to 5, then suppose if we do a is equals to 10, then this will update the value of that variable a. Get value is a function to get the value of the particular variable. So here is an example. So suppose this is a input, the corresponding output is shown here. Suppose if we take token a, then this is the category of an identifier, and data type is int, and it occurs at line number 4. Then correspondingly, we can also see that b is evaluated at line number 9, and its value is 9852, which is so we have also handled expression evaluation. Next, I am going to show the demo for error detection is also handled in this phase. Like suppose we have the first sample file for it. So here we can see that at line number 6, I is not defined. Int I should have been initially defined, so it shows error at line I not defined. Then we have also handled simple syntax errors like semicolon. We can see that at line number 9, the semicolon is missing, so it shows for at 10, which means there is some syntax error at line number 9. Then we have also handled redeclaration of a variable. Like we can see here at line number 10, at line number 10, the a is already declared here, and we are redeclaring at line number 10. So our next phase is the abstract syntax tree phase. In this phase, our tree structure representing the syntactical flow of the code is generated. So for associativity, we have used the percentage left, percentage and percentage right fields, as we can see here. The last tool gets the highest precedence in this code. So we have a encapsulation of a which we have named it as node, which has a character name, which has a character container, and a pointer to its two children, left and right. So This phase has only two functions, named the build tree function and the print tree function. Build tree builds the tree, and as the name suggests, print tree prints the tree in order fashion. So build tree function creates a new node. Attach in the new node, the character is copied to the character container of the new node, and the left node points to the left uh, left child, and the right node points to the right child, and there is a print tree function which prints the tree in ordered fashion. Here is an example. So if you look at this example here, while a is greater than b, while comes in the middle, and the condition comes in the left of the tree, while the statement inside the while comes to the right of the tree. Similarly, if you look for if, the condition comes in the left, and the statement inside the if comes on the right. So our next phase is the intermediate code generation phase. In this we have constructed our own data type called quad, which has the parameters operator, the argument 1, the argument 2, and the result. Result stores the value of the operation performed between the argument 1 and argument 2. So we have constructed an array of length 100 of type quad. We have also used an character array of size 100 to store the different different variables operators, and so that we can pop it as per our use. So we can see the corresponding output generated for the input. So as I said, we have generated our own data type called quad, which has the parameters operator, argument 1, argument 2, and the result. Suppose if we take the line number, we have generated the 3 address code as well as the quadruple form of it. Suppose if we take a line number as int p equal to a into b, so we have operator as into, argument 1 as a, argument 2 as b, and the result is stored in a temporary variable called t naught. Then we have b equal to t naught. So in quadruple form, the result is stored in b. The result variable is where we are storing the result. Argument 2 is null as it is an assignment. Argument 1 is t naught, and the operator is equal to. For every a greater than every conditional statement, we have also generated a corresponding temporary variable which contains the not of that condition. Like for example, for a greater than b, we have t1 equal to a greater than b, and t2 is the not of t1. So if and we have decided we have goto statements corresponding to which one of the t1 or t2 is true. So our next phase is the code optimization phase, in which in this we have taken input in the form of a quadruple, and we have performed 2 optimizations. First one is the constant folding optimization, and the second one is a dead code optimization. In constant folding, we have evaluated any expression, and in dead code we have eliminated any unuseful assignments. So here is the code for constant folding. So if we as we take the input in a quadruple form, so first argument is operator, second is argument 1, third is argument 2, and the final one is the result. So if the operator is plus, so if the operator is plus, we check for whether the 2 arguments given are both digit. If they are both digit, then we simply evaluate the result and store it. And if any one of the argument is a digit, then we look for the second argument in the dictionary values, which I have maintained as a dictionary, which maps the variable to its value. Else, if both of them are not present in the dictionary values, that is, both of them don't contain any value, so they are printed as they are. And if the operator is equal to, if the operator is equal to, then it means that it is an assignment statement. So we check whether it is assigned to a digit or if it is assigned to a variable. So if it is a variable, we look for the variable in the dict values if it has a value assigned to it. If it has a value, then we replace the value of the result to that value, or if it is a variable which is not in dict values, then we leave it as it is. Here is the printing part of the constant full end expression. Then we have a dead code elimination here, where if it sees an equals to, then it passes, which means that every assignment statement is nothing but useless, and else all the if the all the else all the are the operators, and we have printed as it is. Here is an example. So here we can see that this quadruple form is the input, where this must be an assignment statement, as the second argument is, as the operator is equal to and the second argument is null, a equal to 3. The second statement, as we can see, is b equal to a plus 5. But in the constant folded expression, we have got b is equals to 8, as we have already evaluated a as 3 and add it with 5. So b is equals to 8. Similarly, we have done it for all the variables, and ultimately we have got this output. After dead code elimination, all the assignment statements will be removed, as they have no role as they have already been assigned to the variable, and they have no role to play now, as we can this. But e remains there, as e doesn't has any value assigned it. So our next phase is the last phase, which is the target code generation, that in which we take 3AC optimized 3AC code as an input and output and assembly code. I'll demonstrate the code with this example. So I have maintained a dictionary in which there is a map of variables to which registers they have been allocated. So initially, if I equal to 0, we have I equal to 0. So we have allocated variable I to R0 in the dictionary, and since it is a constant, we have used #0. The next statement is an assignment statement, which has an operator plus. We have like in my code, I have differentiated between the star and the greater than symbol. If it is a operator, proper mathematical operator, I have allocated it a temporary variable and skipped one line and saw to which variable this temporary variable which have been allocated. So I have loaded LDR first time, as it wasn't in the dictionary, then LDR B also, as it wasn't in the dictionary. Then I skipped I is equals to I plus 1 and saw to which variable this temporary variable is been allocated. If this variable B wasn't already in the dictionary, that is wasn't already loaded, I would have loaded it as well. But since it was already loaded in register R2, I have multiplied and stored the result of R1 and R2 in the R2 itself. I have in this code here, I have the I is equals to I plus 1. So I have, as I said, I have differentiated between the mathematical operators and the conditional operators. Like if you have star, division, modulus, plus and minus. These are the mathematical operators, proper mathematical operators. And if you have a greater than and less than, I skip I is equals to I plus 2. So yeah, here you can see I is equals to I plus 2 whenever there is a mathematical operation, and I is equals to I plus 3 whenever there is a conditional operator, because there is a if I see a conditional operator, then I know that the next statement I have used my input code is such that the next statement would have been the not of that the upper temporary variable, and the if t I have used mnemonics sub for subtraction, add for addition, BLZ is for branch less than 0. If the value of R1 minus R2 is less than 0, then go to L1 as it is demonstrated by T2. And go to L0 is BR, branch is BR stand for branch. BG's EZ is branch greater than equal to 0. Yes, this is the whole project. Thank you.